This movie is a crime thriller about a killer who kidnaps a girl and abuses her for months. The real question is, how will the girl escape? The story begins with Lisa's disgusting mother. She knew that Lisa's grandmother's boyfriend was a perverted man, yet she left Lisa at her grandmother's house and became carefree. Who knew the grandmother would turn out to be even worse? She openly allowed her boyfriend, Carl, to walk into Lisa's room, where he performed physical examinations on the underage girl. Even after he was done, Carl would blackmail Lisa, forcing her to hand over every dollar she earned from her job at the donut shop. Free exploitation, and on top of that, taking her money too. Even animals wouldn't stoop that low. Lisa repeatedly called her mother, begging her to let her come back home. Her mother knew exactly what Lisa was going through, yet she kept making excuses, saying the grandmother needed help. The only people who cared for Lisa were her older sister and an aunt. But the sister could offer nothing more than emotional support, and the aunt lived far away in another city. She didn't even know about Lisa's suffering. At 17, an age that should have been the brightest phase of a girl's life, Lisa's world was filled only with darkness. One day, after ending a call with her mother, 3 years of pain finally became unbearable. She wrote a suicide note and decided that she would end her life on her way back from work. Just then, a man suddenly grabbed her from behind. For a long time, her grandmother's boyfriend had scared her with a gun and abused her, so she was already terrified. This man did the same thing. Lisa stayed silent, closed her eyes, and obeyed every command. 2 hours later, when the man was done, she thought he might let her go. But he didn't. He blindfolded her, tied her hands and legs, and carried her away. Everything pointed to one thing: he was planning to keep her captive for a long time. The farther the car went, the more deserted the area became. A normal girl might have been paralyzed with shock, but Lisa forced herself to remain calm. As the blindfold loosened, she caught a small glimpse of the car's interior. She saw the word Magnum on the dashboard. These tiny details would later become crucial evidence for the police. The men took her into a house and ordered her to remove her clothes. Swallowing the pain and humiliation, Lisa obeyed. Then he needed to take off her blindfold to bathe her. This time he told her to keep her eyes closed. Lisa endured everything, suppressing her disgust. After the bath, she was abused again. Meanwhile, when Lisa didn't return home all night, her grandmother reported her missing. When the police went to her mother for information, that heartless woman said she doesn't like staying at home. She must have run away. On the other side, the men threw Lisa onto a waterbed and asked her name. Lisa cleverly told him her name was Carol and that she was 20 years old, because in the US, if a 17-year-old girl goes missing, the FBI gets involved. She knew that if the men learned her real age, the chances of him killing her would increase. Lisa seized a moment to ask his name. He of course refused. He continued tormenting her. Lisa pretended to remain calm and soft-spoken so she could gain his trust. She spoke in a gentle voice. "You're not as bad as you think. Can I say, you actually look kind of cute." These words made the men feel as though someone finally understood him. He began to soften, while in reality, Lisa was observing his facial features and body structure carefully. Lisa felt that the men resembled Carl. Years of Carl's abuse had taught her tolerance and cunning, skills she could now use to think clearly even in the most dangerous situations. The men loosened her ropes, even made her a sandwich. Things had just begun to feel a bit calmer when suddenly, news flashed on the TV. Missing, 17-year-old girl, Lisa McVeigh. The man panicked the moment he heard it. He flared up. "Didn't you just tell me a little while ago that you were 20 years old and that your name was Carol?" Whatever trust had just begun to form in his mind collapsed instantly. Then he lashed out at Lisa in anger. Although Lisa herself was so hopeless about life that she wanted to commit suicide, that was her own choice. Being killed by someone else was an entirely different matter. No one except herself had the right to take her life. Memories of her sister, every bit of love and care, suddenly surged inside her. She felt she couldn't just sit silently and die. Right then, a new plan formed in her mind. Insult during a suicide attempt and then abduction. How this woman fought her way out of all this could be included in a textbook. She lied that she needed to go to the toilet and used the excuse to send the men away. As soon as she heard the door close, she quickly removed the blindfold from her eyes and locked the bathroom door from inside. Then she carefully observed the entire washroom, memorizing its structure and the position of every item. Deliberately, she left her fingerprints on every surface where they could be found. Her intention was simple: if she died, the police would still have evidence and the killer would be caught. After doing everything, she behaved as if nothing had happened and sat back on the toilet. The man was furious, but he had no idea what she had actually done. He just kept yelling meaninglessly. From an earlier attempt, Lisa had understood his weakness. She immediately apologized and even offered to bring him water. Using this excuse, she tried to peek into the room through the crack in the door. And it was true. Gentleness and softness actually affected this violent man. He forgave Lisa and gently warned her not to make another mistake. At night, when the man, whose name was Michael, was fast asleep, Lisa slowly got up. She removed her mask and looked around. Michael was sleeping like a clueless dog. She groped around for the phone and was just about to call the police when Michael woke up and rushed to stop her. Once again, the fragile trust she had built shattered. Lisa's mind raced. Within seconds, she created a new lie for Michael. She said she wanted to call her father to tell him about her death. Her father was sick and she was needed at home. She portrayed herself as a helpless, lonely, sorrowful girl, hoping that whatever little humanity remained in Michael would awaken. And it worked. She continued, "You know, you're a little like him. You really are a good good man. I respected him so much. He was so sweet, so kind. He loved me a lot, always took care of me. But now he's sick and I need to take care of him. I give him medicine every day, make soup for him, because I want him to get better so we can live a good life together. Lisa was actually describing a completely imaginary father, but to Michael, it sounded as though she was praising him. The flattery worked like magic on him, so precise, so emotional that he melted all over again. Outwardly she stayed gentle, but inside she was preparing to escape at every moment. She raised him so high with her praise that he had no idea how to react. Lisa even told him she was willing to be his girlfriend. Hearing this, the men completely froze. Other women resist until their last breath, but she was doing the exact opposite. Seeing him remain silent, Lisa pushed harder, begging him to let her go so she could care for her sick, lonely father, and she showered him with praise once again. The man's mind went numb. From his reaction, Lisa understood that he no longer had the courage to kill her. Then she delivered the final blow. She told him to accept her as his girlfriend and accompany her to meet her father. Finally, the men broke down and agreed. It was as if he was saying, I only wanted a relationship and you're offering to be my wife. This was exactly what Lisa needed to hear. He put her in the car. Lisa kept pretending to cry while secretly observing the surroundings through a small gap in the window. The car stopped at a gas station. When Michael stepped out to fill fuel, Lisa cut her finger and smeared her blood on the seat to leave evidence. Michael then drove on and eventually stopped near a huge oak tree. He untied Lisa's hands. As soon as she heard the door close and his footsteps moving away, she tore off the blindfold, and standing before her was a massive, sky-touching tree. Seeing the densely wooded place, Lisa realized that perhaps her life was about to reach a new turning point. She began running in long strides toward her grandmother's house. She felt as if she had finally escaped a terrifying place, but she had no idea that she was about to fall into an even darker abyss. She believed that once she reached her grandmother's home, she would be safe. But the moment her grandmother's boyfriend, Carl, saw her, he started beating her brutally, punching her on the head and face. The truth was that Carl was terrified that Lisa might expose the years of sexual abuse he had inflicted on her. He tried to force her to say that her kidnapping was actually just running away from home, so the case would be closed. But Lisa would rather die than lie. Fortunately, the police did not believe the excuses her grandmother made. They kept insisting that Lisa come to the station to give her statement. At the police station, Lisa narrated the entire kidnapping incident in great detail. 22 steps with green carpet, the structure of the house, small details, everything in a calm and clear voice. But the police did not take her extraordinary memory and calm manner seriously. Instead, they felt that she was speaking too logically, too systematically, as if she were describing a movie plot. They could not understand that even an adult might completely break down in such a situation. So how could a 17-year-old girl remain so calm? The more details Lisa provided, the more the police believed she was making it up. They assumed she had watched too many crime films and was inventing a story to cover up the fact that she had run away from home. At that moment, Lisa finally broke. A teenage girl who had survived horrific abuse, it was already a big deal that she was speaking the truth at all. But everyone treated her words like fiction. Her grandmother didn't believe her, and now the police didn't either. She had just escaped the clutches of a monster, only to fall into a new hell. She had fought through humiliation and violence, still holding on to hope, but now the world's disbelief shattered her completely. Just when she felt that false accusations and misunderstanding were about to suffocate her, one man appeared like a ray of light. That was when Larry, the head of the sex crimes unit, entered the station. He said, in 99 out of 100 cases, a runaway kid is like a child who's been wandering outside all night. She's the one in 100. With this one sentence, it became clear what a real expert sounded like. He could see that Lisa was still just a child. In that moment, he felt a deep compassion, because he had a daughter of his own. He said, I would go anywhere to protect my daughter, and I will go anywhere to protect you too. Those words instantly created a bond between them. A small gesture of reassurance and trust was formed. Then he said, tell me everything. I believe you. Lisa once again began explaining the entire incident. The killer's room, his lifestyle, his habits, his face. She described every detail with precision. Larry's professional instinct told him clearly, this girl was not lying. He immediately collected Lisa's old clothes and sent them for testing. In 1984 America, DNA testing did not exist yet, and the technology for gathering criminal evidence was limited. Later, he contacted Lisa's guardian, her grandmother, to ask for permission to hypnotize Lisa so she could recall any forgotten important details. Carl panicked, afraid that his years of abuse would be exposed, and he strongly refused permission. But Larry sensed that something was definitely wrong. After deeper questioning, Lisa finally revealed the horrifying secret she had kept for 3 years. Carl had been sexually abusing her for many years. Larry immediately arrested Carl for sexually assaulting a minor, ending Lisa's long nightmare. Her grandmother's house was no longer a place she could live. After years of neglect and indifference, as Lisa was leaving, she asked her grandmother, why did you never protect me? But all she received in response was silence. Larry arranged for Lisa to stay in a safe shelter provided by the justice system, and even asked his daughter to stay with her. But even after escaping that hell, Lisa could not erase the fear or the pain. The monster's face, the killer's hands, Carl's violence, the police's disbelief. These memories often resurfaced in her mind. Even recalling that terrifying experience was unbearable for her. But that same pain strengthened her desire to move forward. His determination to catch the criminal was unbreakable. Larry was working on a series serial killer case. 6 people had already been murdered, each time in an extremely brutal manner. The killer was incredibly cunning, clean execution, no evidence, and not a single eyewitness. The investigation had been going on for 6 months, yet not even the slightest clue had surfaced. The forensic report on Lisa's clothes arrived. It showed that the fibers found on her clothes matched perfectly with those found on the victims of the serial killer. This confirmed that the person who kidnapped her was the same serial killer. Lisa became the only eyewitness in the entire case, its most crucial link. Her encounter with the killer at the gas station became the biggest breakthrough. Using the approximate timeline she provided, Larry pulled CCTV footage from the area. Among the many images, Larry spotted a suspicious man. His refueling time almost matched the time Lisa had mentioned. Larry took Lisa back to the place where she had been abducted to help reconstruct the entire sequence of events. Thanks to Lisa's extraordinary memory, even though they couldn't locate the killer's hideout, they found an important clue: the large oak tree where the killer had left her. Using the locations of the oak tree and the gas station, Larry narrowed down the killer's activity area to a radius of about 3.2 kilometers. Later, Lisa mentioned that the word Magnum was written on the car's dashboard. Based on that, the possible vehicle was limited to a 1978 Insta Magnum model because that was the only car with Magnum printed on the dashboard. Not long after, a police officer spotted the same suspicious car during patrol. To avoid raising suspicion, he made up an excuse and took pictures of the men and the car. Larry showed all the photographs to Lisa. She had understood the killer so well that she recognized him instantly. The CCTV images from the gas station also matched the same men. Now it was time for the arrest, and it went smoothly. The killer was caught. When the police examined the car, they even found traces of Lisa's blood. Larry searched the killer's house, and every detail Lisa had described was found there. Seeing all of this, the killer confessed. "About Lisa," he said, "the only reason you caught me is because I let her go." Lisa had completely understood the killer's mindset, and that is how she managed to escape from such a twisted man. With her cooperation, the police caught the killer within just 12 days. When Larry shared the good news with her, her first question was, "Why am I still alive?" Her strength carried her to victory, but mental wounds do not heal so easily. Larry supported her like a father, guiding her, encouraging her. When the whole world doubted her, Larry was the only one who had unwavering faith in her. Because of him, Lisa found the strength to live again. She gained respect from society and a new purpose to move forward. At the end of the film, Lisa politely refused Larry's offer to adopt her and chose to live with her aunt and uncle. The film is, believe me, based on a true incident that happened in America in 1984. Later in life, Lisa became a deputy sheriff, specializing in cases related to sexual crimes and child protection. She has a daughter and a lovely granddaughter. If you enjoyed the movie, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. So let's meet again next time with another fascinating story.